Now, over the past few years, I've heard the name Stitches and Buckles come up a heap of times, but to be honest, I wasn't quite sure what it was. I knew there was a relationship with micro brands, I knew there was collaboration watches, but it wasn't until I'd made the decision to come to Singapore and start researching places to go within Singapore that I realised they had a physical store here. Hello, you're watching James. My name's James, you're watching me, and I am talking about watches. And when I realised I was going to come to Singapore and that Stitches and Buckles was located here, I reached out to them requesting permission to come and film their watches, their store, and they kindly agreed. So that's what we're going to do today. We're heading to Stitches and Buckles, but in preparation for this, I tried finding online what the store looked like, where it was, what I was going to see today as I went to the store, and the brands that I had, and I found a lot of information about the brands that they had on offer, which is lots of micro brands, which is absolutely fantastic. I'm really excited to see that, but I didn't get a lot of pictures or information about the store itself. So today I'm going to be discovering the store and sharing it with you. So let's get out of this area and let's head across to Stitches and Buckles. And when you arrive here, you'll see that it is located in the Block 2 Beach Road, but you need to walk around the back of the building. So if you sort of walk, and you'll see all these stores out the front, but you need to walk around the back here down this sort of central corridor. You'll see there's quite a few different sort of blocks here, A, B and C. It's definitely in Block B, but it's number 2 Beach Road in Singapore. But you then need to round the corner here, a heap of different types of shops here, lots of little markets and stalls and massage places, and it's more of a local sort of area. I think I wouldn't see any other sort of tourists around this area. But then as you just turn around here, make sure you look back. The first time I missed it, and there it is, Stitches and Buckles. And the first thing that I saw when I walked in was that it was a really nice sort of comfortable space featuring a heap of different watches and a heap of watch brands that I had never ever come across. But then there was also definitely a couple that I knew very well, like these Zelos watches. And it was almost like the entire range of Zelos as well, which was amazing. But it was this Nova Teal 37mm was the one that I really wanted to get my hands on. I think this is my favorite Zelos model. It's an ETA 7001 powered watch. Yeah, beautiful manual movement there. They are about $1,500. I'm not sure if that's Singaporean dollars or US dollars, but by far this is my favorite Zelos model. It's just so pretty and so nice, and I almost bought it when it came out, but I was actually quite keen to get some hands on with the RZE watches as well, and I was quite surprised they had the full range of them too. But then beside them there were a bunch of other watches, brands that I'd never even heard of before. But over here, some well-known brands to me like Orient Star. There was Feynman down here as well. There's a few other brands in here that I was looking at and I was thinking about. But I was going to try and get the store owner here that didn't particularly want to be in the video, which is perfectly fine, just to get out a few key models for me to have a look at. Some that I sort of knew that I'd wanted to see, get hands-on with. But then when I got there and saw these interesting models, different models, surprisingly good-looking watches, I needed to get hands-on with a couple of those too. And there was also one particular brand that I was really hoping to get hands-on with, which they seem to have a huge range of as well. And that was Atawak. You'll see at the bottom right of the screen there's Atawak. There's almost a huge range of pretty much all the models as well. It's amazing what this small store has such a significant range of all these individual models. I've definitely not seen Zelos watches all together before like this. And I'd certainly not seen this watch before either. Well, I'd had seen it before in pictures and in videos and in Instagram feeds, but I certainly didn't expect to see it in this store. Not in an exactly cheap watch, this one. I think it was around 3,000 sort of US or Singaporean dollars. But what a beautiful watch, what a well-made watch. And that chain that you saw, I'll show you in a second. You actually sort of, when you action this watch or when you are wearing this watch, it spins around. And you can see the minutes are down the bottoms and the hours are sort of working their way around the dial. There's a full sort of sapphire case. And I can't remember the brand of this one, but it is definitely something a little bit special, but it is also quite large
too. A little bit out of my price range at the moment, but I have to admit it certainly went through my mind that maybe I should pick this one up just because of how amazing it is. But it was at a whack that was on my list of watches that I wanted to see whilst at this store, because I'd got so close on so many occasions to getting access to them previously, but I'd sort of missed out every time that I'd then actually been able to try and actually get hands on with them. And in particular, it was this Spaceship, these ones here that you can see here. And again, look, it's the entire range of them. For a smaller stall to actually see so many of the one sort of brand and all of their models, but it's the sort of all silver one. I think this is a relatively new release from them. Not so much the Spaceship sort of design, but it on the bracelet in this particular configuration. Now, I was speaking to the store owner about his store here. I was a bit wondering, because it was a relatively small store, but still with a heap of different brands and things, whether or not he had a lot more sort of online customers or in-store customers. And he said there was actually a good combination between both. I can imagine there was still a huge amount of sales online when you do look at all the watches that they sell, but he was really saying that there were quite a lot of people coming in, especially for specific models, just because he actually had access to and had the watches on display. A lot of locals are coming in for Singaporean micro brands, but yeah, like I said before, Orient Star seems to be a relatively popular brand over in Asia and in Singapore, which I'm quite happy about because I get to then see more of them. The Orient Star that I own is such a fantastic watch, so getting to see some of the other models is also absolutely fantastic. And just some other Orient models here that you can see, some of their divers. Looking down, what's down here? I think there's sort of Feynman is down here as well. Yeah, look at the Feynman range here. Feynman is a Singaporean brand, a really nicely made brand, and this is their collaboration with Stitches and Buckles. Feynman, Stitches and Buckles collaboration. In particular, it is the dial color here. It is a mint, and it's only limited to 15 pieces. I think he said it was $2,000, but this one is just so ultra thin because of that ETA 7001, and it's only 8.6 millimeters tall, which gives an absolute incredible feel when you're actually wearing this one. But also, check out the bracelet. It's a very 70s sort of vibed bracelet. They'll even look back at a vintage Omega when they were thinking about the design of their bracelet, but the finishing of it was amazing. The design of it was amazing. And then, yeah, I guess I have to keep coming back to Zelos because I think a lot of people are going to be wanting to see these watches. A lot of people are interested in these watches, and I'm guessing that this is probably one of the bigger selling brands in this store. And just, again, they're all there, their entire range. I'm not sure where else you can go that you can see the entire range of some of these brands. I've been to some bigger stores than this, but they just don't have the range. But this one here, the RZE Digital, which came out recently, well, I saw it and I thought, yeah, that's sort of cool. I saw videos about it and I thought, yeah, that's sort of cool. But wow, I tried this thing on and I absolutely loved it. In fact, I almost walked out of the store with this one because I absolutely loved it. So the model of this particular one is the UTD 8000. I think they're only about $280 as well. And I think it has been a huge success for RZE. I know when they've gone to sort of watch events and things, they've been selling a bunch of them. But there's actually one watch that really stood out to me in this store, and you'll get a glimpse of it shortly, but I'll leave it to the end, and that is the one that I really almost walked out of the store with. Just at the top of the screen now, you can see the green, black, and blue straps there. Yeah, there's a little bit of a sneak peek, but there's a couple of other brands there. The top right there is an interesting sort of relatively affordable automatic watch. Just had to get in close and have a look at some of these watches. Yep, always been back to the Zelos cabinet. Just so many of them. I've said that probably too many times. And this is something that I was completely unexpected and completely not expecting to see whatsoever. The Allison, I think they're called. Saw a video by Jody on Just One More Watch about this one. Their dials are actually hand-coloured and then have gold leaf inlaid in them. Beautiful feeling, beautiful around the wrist, amazing quality bracelet, integrated style as well, which is not always my favourite, and being a larger watch does tend to then struggle a little bit on my wrist. But then the owner of the store here really wanted me to check this one out. I can't remember the brand of it, but he was pretty much just saying just how good quality they are for the price that they are. And it certainly was a bit of a standout with that sort of all sapphire crystal case on that sort of integrated bracelet or integrated strap. bigger watch, but certainly because of the sort of downturn of those lugs and because of just how much it wrapped around, it really did grab me. Now back to the watch that I was talking about earlier. You can see them on the top row with those sort of coloured straps and the black strap in the middle. It's a brand that I'd never heard of before, but called Bonest Gatti. I think this is their brand new release. It has a semi-crystal case, or it's a sapphire crystal with some steel lugs. It has a lume carbon sort of structure of the movement there. It is 44 millimeters, but it is an automatic watch. I think they're priced about 725 Singaporean or US dollars. I did forget to ask him which prices that he's listing in. I'm going to guess that it's Singaporean dollars since I am in Singapore. That would make a lot more sense, but there's something about this one. I went back to it about 3 or 4 times. It just looks so cool. And that sapphire case, which wrapped all the way around it, that was really cool. But I did also like that there was that sort of structure underneath of stainless steel that gave you a little bit of brushing and polishing as well. And even though it was a bigger watch, it still fit me. And thanks so much for watching, guys. Maybe you'd like to check out these videos next.